At ExCulture, we have a bioprocess for making a heparin substitute, the bio-based approach that relies on microbial environmental sources instead. I obtained my master in molecular genetics and biotechnology. During that second year, I met my co-founder, Aisling Foley. She reached out to me because I had the biology, complementary skills. She had chemistry background. So yeah, we jumped on this journey about 3 years ago together. It is in our plan to scale up to 70 to 100 liter production by the end of the year. We will need more expertise and to scale it up further to get into those stages of development. The scientific challenge that really drives me, and of course the sustainability aspect of what we are taking to the market. I know that it's going to have an application and it's not just confined into research.
Welcome back to another episode of the Startup Passport by Econsulate. Today we're joined by Ilaria Poledri. Thank you very much for joining us. You're the founder of ExCulture.
Thank you. Yes.
Well, your work connects expertise from both Leiden, the biosciences, and the Delft technology, well, innovation from there. So how do you connect the dots and what is exactly the company doing?
Yes. So yeah, at ExCulture, we have a bioprocess for making a heparin substitute. Heparin is the most common blood thinner. However, the way it is produced, it still gets scraped and isolated from pig intestines, which is of course very unsustainable because of the epidemics that happened in the past, contamination crisis, and also because supply cannot match demand anymore. So what we have instead is a bio-based approach that relies on microbial environmental sources instead. The technology comes from Technical University Delft, is a spin-off of the university. But it produces a pharmaceutical. So the reason why we are combining the Delft expertise and the Leiden expertise is because in Delft, the patent originated from Delft, and there is a lot of industrial biotechnology expertise. Whereas in Leiden, with the Leiden Bioscience Park, we feel that there is much expertise on taking it to the market for pharmaceutical purposes.
And how does your background look yourself? Because I imagine that is especially a field where you need a lot of expertise to even start thinking about doing your own company in this. So how did that process look like with your background and then becoming an entrepreneur yourself?
Yeah, so I have a background in biotechnology. So I obtained my master in molecular genetics and biotechnology from the University of Leiden with science-based business. So yeah, my first year was fully biology-based, and my second year I did some courses to get familiar with the business sides of the life sciences industry. And during that second year, I met my co-founder, Aisling Foley. She knew the investment manager of Delft Enterprises, who had this patent sitting on a shelf, utilizing a bioprocess for making a heparin alternative. She was reached out by the investment manager at the time at Delft Enterprises. She reached out to me because I had the biology, complementary skills. She had chemistry background. So yeah, we jumped on this journey about 3 years ago together. And then, as you said, we had to build on more and more technical expertise. And the university was very helpful as it is a patent originating from the environmental biotechnology department at TU Delft. So we had support from the department. We started out by doing some lab work at the university, and then we could transfer out the technology to our own lab. And for this, of course, we had to grow the team with a fermentation scientist. We then grew the team further with a bioprocess engineer to focus more on the purification side. And we also grew the team further with a business support coordinator who's helping us more on the business side of things. And of course, we have many advisors in the space.
And how big would you say is the core team by now?
We are 5 people, 5 full-time employees, plus many advisors on more strategic, commercial sides, but also informal scientific advisors who are the inventors of the patent.
And in terms of scaling, what are the plans for that? And also what is something you would need for that in that current moment that you're in right now?
Yeah, so right now we have a lab scale fermenter, 3-liter fermenter. It is in our plan to scale up to 70 to 100 liter production by the end of the year, as we want to produce enough product to get into the lab tests and the animal tests. So yeah, we will need more people to scale up the process, and we will need more equipment. So yeah, we are working on that. And then after the pilot scale production that's going to happen by the end of this year, we will need to scale production even more to reach kilogram production, and also GMP manufacturing, especially with the toxicology studies that are going to happen in animals. We need certifications around the way the compound is produced. So yeah, we will need more expertise and to scale it up further for to get into those stages of development.
And with the company, you've already received some recognition, for example, from the Philips Innovation Award, for example. That's something that you got. What do those awards mean to you? Is it mainly getting traction? Is it just something that you take in and as a reward for your work, or what does it actually do to you?
Yeah, indeed, a lot of traction. A lot of people reached out to us after we won the Philips Innovation Award. Also Aisling, my co-founder, she's part of the Termeer Foundation. She's a fellow of the Termeer Foundation now, and that also got us a lot of traction, and also raised a lot of awareness around how some essential medicines are still produced. Everyone knows insulin, and everyone knows how the transition went from producing insulin from animal pancreas, but not many people are aware that heparin is still produced from animal sources. So it also raised a lot of awareness around an unsustainable manufacturing for a life-saving pharmaceutical.
And you and your co-founder, is there any separation, let's say, or how do you guys make the best out of both of your strengths? Because it sounds like you have a very let me just say technical background and like pinpoint like what the organization does, but of course also the business aspects also come in. Is that something where you have a certain separation, or are you just generally working together and everything?
Yeah, so we discussed role separations very early on, and we were always aligned. So she's the CEO and I'm the CSO. So she, the further along the line we went, and the further we could separate the tasks. So she's now dealing more with the business development and the finance side of things, whereas I deal more with the scientific roadmap. Overseeing what's happening in the lab and more the lab operation side of things. So yeah, it went pretty smoothly. And then, like I said, we had many advisors who could help us, talk to the right people, outsourcing services to the right companies, and get the right consultants.
And then lastly, also a little bit on a personal note, what is your main drive, would you say, to work on this? What keeps you waking up in the mornings and still driving forward with a company? I imagine also when you have tougher times, this is when it gets most important.
Yeah, the scientific challenge that really drives me, and of course the sustainability aspect of what we are taking to the market, and the challenge of revolutionizing a manufacturing process that's been established for 100 years. That's what drives me every day. I wake up, I feel like I have a purpose. I do my work in the lab. I read my scientific papers, but at the same time, I know that it's going to have an application, and it's not just confined into research.
Thank you very much for sharing that and for sharing all of the things about ExCulture. Best of luck with everything that's ahead, and most importantly, thank you for joining the podcast as well.
Thank you.